Assalamu alaikum. Welcome you all for a session on basics of ECG today. Learning ECG is very important in your student years, as beyond that time, most of the guys do not get this time to look into those in-depth details related to the basics of ECG. Lately, you guys just hold a ECG paper, try to find different anomalies, problems, and if you are not having a very good concept of the basics, it's quite difficult to interpret. And if you are having a good concept of basics of ECG, ECG is one of the easiest thing to understand. At least all the important basic ECGs can be learned in a very short time. So just proceeding with this session, a question may arise in your mind that how these things started. How scientists came to know that human body has the capability to generate electric current. That capability was recognized with the inventions of certain devices, one with the name of galvanometer. So how did they come to know that human body has capability to generate electric current? So they came to know when they were placing these electrodes over the dead body, it wasn't showing a deflection. And when they were placing those electrodes on an alive human being, that galvanometer was showing deflection. So that was a very clear interpretation of the fact that human body is generating that electric current. And when they were placing those electrodes close to the heart, the deflection was way more. What it suggested, that it is heart which is basically generating electricity. Now, if it was heart that was generating electricity, that was not kind of a thing which could have been very helpful, but another thing which lately came into mind of those people who were focusing on those kind of hypothesis. They felt that when they were placing those electrodes close to the left chambers of the heart, deflection was more. As they were placing those electrodes towards the right chamber, deflection was less. So what was the interpretation out of it? The interpretation was different chambers of heart has got different capability to produce that current. Means the strength is different. And from here, the things started. Now they wanted a device. They wanted a device that could tell us about those changes or those happenings in the heart. That device was named as ECG machine lately. What are the ingredients? What are the things present in that ECG machine? Obviously, ECG machine has got certain electrodes exactly like the electrodes in the galvanometer. So these electrodes are made up of copper. Copper is a very good conductor of electricity. So what they were doing, they were placing these copper electrodes, as you guys do the ECG, and you place those electrodes over the arms, over the chest. So these are copper made. As it is a good conductor, so whatever current emits from the heart is caught by these electrodes, and then these electrodes transfer it to that ECG machine, which produce certain kind of waves. Now, why do those waves get formed? It is because human body is generating electric current, that is electrical energy. It is converted to mechanical energy, and there is a small fine instrument in that ECG machine which keeps on moving on the ECG paper which is there in the machine. The paper keeps moving. The electrode, that stylus keeps moving like that because of the electricity which is being provided by the heart and which has been converted to mechanical energy, and with that mechanical energy it forms certain waves on the paper, and these waves are known as thermal waves. So what is happening here? As per laws of physics, electrical energy is being converted to mechanical energy, is being converted to thermal energy. So it's as simple as that. And you understand very well one form of energy can be converted to another form of energy as per laws of physics. Now the question arises that if this current dissipates from the heart, where it goes? The answer is very simple. As the whole human body is a good conductor of electricity, so it will be going in all the directions. So current dissipate in all the directions. Now we just wanted to know that dissipation of current in certain particular directions. And for that purpose, a person named Inthovens jumped in. So now what I am drawing here, the heart. This is the left atria, this is right atria, this is large size left ventricle, and it has got thick walls. And there is a small, and this thickness is not that much in comparison with the LV, and this is RV. So that's the total story. Left atria, right atria, LV and RV. The intrinsic ability to generate electric current is by which thing? This is SA node. SA node generate that current, goes to AV node, goes to bundle of phase, and from bundle of phase it goes to, this is right side, so this is right bundle, this is left side, so this is left bundle, and that left bundle further divides to left anterior fascicle and left posterior fascicle. So how the current is dissipating here? Things are starting from SA node, right? SA node is, that's why I called the master of the heart. From here, current arises to AV node, and then it reaches to this right bundle, bundle of phase, and then right bundle and left bundle, and through Purkinje fiber, it is dissipated through the whole heart. So that's the whole conduction system. This is how current dissipates in the whole heart. Now we want to see the dissipation of current in certain particular directions. What even Inthovens told us? Inthovens told us that this is the chest wall carrying the human heart. This is the right side, right? This is the right shoulder. We take it as right shoulder. We take it as left shoulder. And he said that we are supposed to place electrodes on different areas of body, and we'll be studying the electric current moving between those two poles. There will be two electrodes, one will be negative and the other one will be positive, and as per rules of physics again, the current flow from negative to positive pole. So he said that we'll be placing these different electrodes on human body, and then we'll be studying that dissipation between those different electrodes. The first thing that emerged based on his logic, based on his interpretation, the first thing that emerged was bipolar, the concept of bipolar limb leads. Now the names will guide you itself. Bipolar limb leads. And they named these leads as lead number 1, lead number 2 and lead number 3. They could have named it, they could have named it A, B, C. So they just made it as lead number 1, lead number 2 and lead number 3. These are the bipolar limb leads. Now how to place these bipolar limb leads on human body and how helpful it's going to be, you will learn in a very short period of time now. How to place these electrodes on the human body? First, we just want to read that dissipation of current in certain particular directions. So it was decided, as the current is in 360 degree from the human heart, so I am making a circle here around the heart. This is a circle, 360 degree circle, right? Current emitting from the heart is going to all the directions. Let's divide this whole heart in whole circle into equal halves. So now I have divided into equal halves. 180 degree above and 180 degree below. Now let's divide it in further 3 equal halves. This is, we start from here. This is 0 degree. This is 60 degree. This is 120 degree. And then this is 180 degree. So we have divided exactly in 3 halves. We want to learn about dissipation of current, say in this direction, 0 degree. They said that the thing which will be studying that dissipation in that angle will be named as bipolar limb lead number 1. The one studying at 60 degree will be named as bipolar limb lead number 2, and that one will be named as bipolar limb lead number 3, which is studying the dissipation of current at 120 degree. So I am studying here, what I am studying here, current dissipation towards that direction, and towards that direction. Now see how Inthoven will be helping us here. He said that you want to learn about that dissipation, make a triangle. Now I am making a triangle here. This is a triangle. Its apex is here and the base is here. That one is the right side, that one is the left side. Now here comes the solution. He said that if you want to learn about that dissipation, I mean this one, this angle, the current is dissipating towards this direction. This angle, this is 0 degree, named as lead 1. What you are supposed to do? You are supposed to place one of the electrode on the right shoulder, the other electrode on the left shoulder, and this will be the direction of that dissipation. So this lead is actually this lead, right? This is lead number 1 at 0 degree. We have what we have done here, the negative electrode is here and the positive one is here. On the left shoulder it's positive electrode and on the right shoulder there is negative electrode. When you place these electrodes while doing ECG on humans, what you do? You place electrodes here. These electrodes carry 2 wires, the negative one and positive one. So we are making use of the negative one of this right shoulder. And here again that electrode is placed on this area. You basically place the electrode on this point and you would be just, I mean, a person can ask a question that electrode is supposed to be placed here, then why we are talking about this point? Actually, if somebody is not having arm, his arm is cut into half, what will happen next? Electrode will be placed here. Next, electrode will be placed here. Same way, if somebody is not having this arm, ultimately the electrode. So placing electrode here or here, that's the same thing, right? Remember this thing. So to know about lead number 1, what is happening here? To interpret lead number 1, to place that lead number 1 on the human beings means you place one electrode on the right shoulder and the other one on the left. Current dissipate from the negative to positive pole, and that is why it is known as bipolar. And why it is known as limb? Because we have placed the electrodes on limb. So this is bipolar limb lead number 1, representing the current flow at 0 degree. Now the next thing will be very easy now. Lead number 2. How you will make that lead number 2? This is the direction. Negative pole, again right shoulder will be utilized as negative pole and left foot will be utilized as positive pole. That's the direction. So in this direction, if somebody asks you ever how lead number 2 is made, now you can easily answer that this is known as bipolar. So it has got 2 poles. The negative one will be here, the positive one will be here, and that's the direction. As simple as that. So lead number 2 is at 60 degree. What about lead number 3? Lead number 3, now this is this direction. So where I should place my negative pole? Here. And where I should place my positive pole? On the right foot. But as right foot is neutral, we'll be placing it on the left foot. The left foot one will be used for it. Negative pole, left shoulder. And again, you might ask question, initially that was taken as positive pole. I have already told you the electrode which are placed on these parts, they are carrying two things, both negative and positive wires. So once we are utilizing the negative one, once we are utilizing the positive one. Now we have got three leads with us now. That's the most important interpretation which I am going to highlight now, that we made these leads, we placed these on human body, but what was the fun to place, to do all this exercise? How these leads help? What is the definition of lead? The definition of lead is in just 4 words, and that is electrical picture of heart. What lead is, if somebody ever asks you this question, what lead is, you are supposed to tell them this is electrical picture of heart. In Urdu, I would interpret it as दिल के अंदर होने वाली तब्दीलियों को लकीरों की शक्ल में बयान कर देने का नाम लीड है. तो बेसिकली लीड ये है, राइट? सो दिस इज इलेक्ट्रिकल पिक्चर ऑफ हार्ट. But the most important thing which I was going to highlight now, actually lead is a camera. And now this camera thing tells you the whole story. We draw these leads, we made these leads, we place these electrodes, how they are helpful to us. Just consider this lead as camera now. Basically, we have placed one camera here. We have placed another camera here. We have placed another camera here. And you know what camera does? If camera is seeing my heart from this side, what side of heart it will be seeing? Lateral wall or lateral side. If the camera is seeing my heart from if camera is seeing my heart from downwards, like camera is placed here, heart is there, so what it will be seeing? The inferior wall. So lead is basically a camera. Wherever you place that camera, whatever will be right in front of that camera, that will be seeing that particular part of the heart. And how many walls of heart are there? We just name the walls now. One is lateral wall, one is inferior wall, then the other one is anteroseptal wall, the fourth one is then right ventricular wall, and the fifth is posterior wall. Now we have placed this camera here at 0 degree, represented by lead number 1. Which wall of the heart it is seeing? Lateral wall. We know now that if we want to see the lateral wall, we are having a ECG paper in our hand. On which lead we'll be focusing? We'll be focusing on lead 1. So lateral wall is represented by one of the lead, which is known as lead 1. Camera is placed here, seeing lower part of my heart, seeing the inferior wall. So inferior wall is represented by one lead number 2 and the other one lead number 3. Hypotheses actually which emerge initially are the major things. Lately, after those ideas, the things become quite easy. So as things progressed, what those scientists said? They said that we are just seeing a very small portion of the heart. If we want to see the bigger picture of the heart, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to add more cameras. In other words, more leads. So the concept of leads lately emerged because we want to see the heart in a better way. I just give you an example of a cricket match. I mean, a player hits the ball, the opponent's team player tries to stop it. And if we look at the picture of Pakistan television way back in 1990s, as the player was used to hit the ball, the person other was trying to stop the ball at exactly the boundary. The camera, existing cameras, there were one or two. One was focused on the batsman, and the second one was mostly focused on the big size face of the PCB chairman. So the problem was if you want to see the picture in a better way, what we were in need of, nobody could catch it whether the player was able to stop the ball first or whether it touched the boundary. What we were in need of, we were in need of so many cameras which will be watching everything from every side that we won't be missing anything. Exactly same thing is true for the heart. You want to see the heart in a better way, what you need? You need to place cameras all around so that you can see all the walls. And that is why more and more and more leads came into being. The next leads which came into being were, these were known as these are known as augmented unipolar. Here they are not bipolar. Unipolar augmented limb leads. So how these limb leads are made? They will be made on the same principle of physics. Unipolar augmented limb leads. First where we are supposed to place them? Use the same 360 circle. Initially, I divided it in two halves and I divided the lower half in equal halves, right? Now again I am making that 360 circle. So I just make a small circle here, and this time I am dividing the whole circle in three equal halves. So if I will be doing that, the angle will be 120 degree, 120 degree, 120 degree. So we are already having a lead here at 0 degree. We are already having a lead here at 60 degree. We are already having a lead here at 120 degree. But this time I am actually dividing that whole 360 degree in three equal halves. So this is how I am dividing it. Here, here, and here. So you are seeing here, these are the exactly equal parts. This angle is, as we are starting from 0 degree, 60 degree, this angle is 90 degree. Then this angle is, as we are moving above, as moving to the upper part, I told you that 180 degree part is here, 180 degree is here. So as we are moving ahead, so this is minus 150 degree, and then this is minus 30 degree. We are now placing three more leads. We are now placing three more leads at three different areas. In other words, three more cameras have been placed. One camera is here. Now let's take the bigger picture now. One camera is here. One camera is here. And then one camera is here, 90 degree. We are naming these leads as AVF, AVL, and AVR. A stands for augmented, V stands for voltage leads and F stands for inferior, L stands for left side, R stands for right side. So I am placing one of the lead here at minus 30 degree. This is my left side. So this will be named as, this camera or lead will be named as AVL. This one AVF, and this one AVR. Up till now, your concept must be very clear that what these cameras or leads will see. If AVL is placed here, which area it will be seeing? Lateral wall, again lateral wall. So one, we add AVL here. Then the next one, inferior, this camera is placed here. Which part of the heart it is seeing? The inferior part. So we will be adding AVF here. Then this camera is placed here at this area. So what it will be seeing? Right ventricular wall, upper part of right ventricular wall. So as simple as that. But remember, whatever we have studied till now, we are basically placing these leads in vertical planes. Vertical planes means a camera is placed here, 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 in that way. Now I am going to tell you more that we are going to place some cameras in horizontal position now, which will be seeing our heart from the frontal axis, right? So up till that point, the first, again, a question may arise in your mind that where are the negative poles and where are the positive pole of this lead? These are unipolar limb leads. Remember, the current is emitting out from the heart, and here we assume the current is emerging from the center of the heart. Current is emerging right from the center of the heart, and it is going in this direction. We are trying to read this current going in this, and then it is going to this direction, and then it is going to this direction. So from the center of the heart, current is emitting, going in these multiple directions. We are right now studying that current dissipation in these three directions. So the one unified single pole is being used here, and that is negative pole. The center of the heart here is a unipolar, a single negative pole. And the other one, again, right shoulder. The electrode placed on the right shoulder, we are using it as its right pole. And then the electrode placed here, we are using it as right pole. And the foot, we are using it as right pole. So the center of the heart is the unified single negative pole, and current dissipation is from that direction to other direction. So AVF is at 90 degree, AVL is at minus 30 degree, AVR is at minus 150 degree. This is the circle: 0 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree, 120, 180, and then negative ones. Negative 150, negative 90, negative 30, and then comes again back to the 0 degree. What scientists discussed lately, they said we have missed the most important and the biggest portion of the heart, and that is anteroseptal wall. So how to read this anteroseptal wall? The concept of chest leads emerged. How many chest leads are there? 6. Why they are known as chest leads? Because they are placed on chest. So these are chest leads. V1, we call them V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6. Somewhere they are also known as C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6 as their voltage leads. So some people call them V1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as their chest leads. So some people call them C1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's one and the same thing. But where we are supposed to place those cameras? Leads. Now we are using the horizontal plane. What you will be doing as you guys do ECG, you place electrodes where? Fourth intercostal space, right sternal border V1, left sternal border V2, mid clavicular line V4, in between V4 and V2 there is V3, and then anterior axillary line, but now we are in the fifth intercostal space, remember. Anterior axillary line V5, and then mid axillary line V6. So what we are doing here? V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6. This is how we place. This is how we place these all leads, right? V1 to V6. And it's so easy now that as leads are cameras, so the cameras have been placed here. V1, V2, V3, V4 will be seeing anteroseptal wall. So anteroseptal wall will be represented with V1, 2, 3, 4. V1 and V2 is classically for septum. Anteroseptal. V1 and V2 is classically for septum. V3 and V4 is classically for anterior wall. Few books write the opposite. Actually, the reason is the camera or the lead which is seeing the septum is little bit seeing the heart as well, anterior wall. The camera of the anterior wall is seeing a little bit septum as well. So sometimes it's difficult to differentiate between these two, but classically it is said V1, V2 is more exclusive for septum, V3, V4 is more exclusive for anterior wall. Collectively we call them V1, V2, V3, V4 anteroseptal wall, right? We next move on to right ventricular wall and posterior wall. Now, how to see the posterior wall?